From making actors learn a whole new language, to putting them through such a rigorous shooting schedule that they end up quitting. The cast of NCIS don't have it easy, folks. There's some pretty crazy things they gotta do to give you that spectacular show. For instance, they're expected to work out multiple times a day. You thought Michael B. Jordan trained hard for Creed? Wait till you hear about the grueling training the cast of NCIS is expected to undergo. Given that Katrina Law has previously taken on parts that call for a certain level of physical prowess, she was questioned about her training regimen for the show. The actress disclosed that finding time to train is challenging, all thanks to NCIS's lengthy shooting schedule. At first, she went back to a workout regimen she established while portraying Mira in the 2010 Spartacus series. Along with the long hours and the workload, she'd normally wake up at 4 a.m., drive to a gym close to work, start her workout at 5 a.m. Then by 6 a.m., she'd be sitting in the makeup chair, ready to start a long day of shoot. But guess what? That wasn't enough. Law revealed that she had to establish another routine with her trainer that involved working out in between takes. Yep, the dedicated actress asked her trainer to devise workouts that could be done in the trailer in between scenes. And we know she's not the only one going the extra mile. Cote de Pablo also brought up the training requirements and mentioned that it can take up to 3 hours to film a single fight scene. Yep, that requires guns of steel. But that's not the only kind of physical training the cast of NCIS is expected to follow. They also train with the real naval guys. LL Cool J revealed that the cast trained with actual NCIS agents to hone their performances. The rapper turned actor admitted that seeing the formal naval inquiry process taught him a lot. They discussed things like body language, nonverbal communication. In fact, they had behavioral analysts on the set. I think that it's a pretty cool thing that they get to learn to observe everything. You see, attempting to think like an agent is the key. The actors need to train their mind to always be putting jigsaw pieces together, even if it's not for the camera. They need to go into that mental zone, experience those feelings to be able to bring out the best, most believable performance. Now, you thought learning lines was hard? These guys had to learn new languages. Look, it's typical for actors to pick up new skills in order to lend real-world talent to a particular character. But imagine having to master a whole other language too. There are episodes of NCIS in which Harmon, who plays Jethro Gibbs, uses sign language with Polly Perrette, who plays Abby Shudo. Okay, so Perrette learned sign language long before the television show, because her mother was deaf. But before these NCIS episodes, Harmon had also studied sign language. He still had to perfect it in time for shoot, as it was something he picked up years ago and hadn't used much since. At least they didn't have to start from scratch like Cote de Pablo. She played Ziva David, a Mossad operative and NCIS special agent. Of course, it was a very complex character, so Pablo had a difficult time portraying her as is. Add language problems to that. The bilingual actress, whose real name is Mara Jose de Pablo Fernandez, and who was born in Santiago, has spent her entire life speaking both English and Spanish. Ziva, on the other hand, is portrayed as having an Israeli heritage and speaking Hebrew effortlessly. It was a challenge for the performer to play a character of an entirely different nationality from her own, let alone learn that character's language fluently within days. She initially auditioned for Ziva David with a Czechoslovakian accent, because the role was described as simply European. 2 days after getting the role, she got a call. It was revealed that now Ziva would actually be Israeli. In an interview, Pablo mentioned how quickly things changed for her character after that. In less than 48 hours, she had to shoot a lengthy monologue in Hebrew. That's right, she had to learn it within hours. She wasn't too happy about it though. Even though language and dialect trainers had been hired to help her in learning Hebrew, there was only so much that could be taught in just 48 hours. The actress claimed that the majority of that time was spent attempting to learn Hebrew phonetics. If you ask me, she seems to have mastered it very well. Wasn't good enough for our Ziva though. Cote de Pablo later acknowledged that she wasn't overly pleased with her performance and believed she could have done better. She never thought her Hebrew monologue was perfect enough and blamed her extremely limited study time for this. P.S. If you think you've had a long day at work, just wait till you hear about the working hours of the cast of NCIS. The amount of time and effort the cast members put into an ordinary day was disclosed by one of the stars of the popular CBS series. Tim McGee, aka Sean Murray, revealed in 2020 that the average day of filming takes roughly 12 hours. 12 hours! According to him, the actors are now in this great space where they're able to play inside of a world that they've already established. Tim, blink twice if you're being held hostage. Doesn't sound like a great space to me. But get this, he claims the schedule isn't as bad as it used to be. I can't imagine just how much worse it used to be. He went on to say that each performer is very familiar with their roles, and that's helpful when they're filming episodes with very compelling plot lines. That's a given when you play someone for more than half a day. But for some cast members, it was a no-no. When Caitlin Todd, played by Sasha Alexander, died after 2 seasons, viewers were in disbelief. It's time to come clean. The actress actually asked to leave on her own. Yep, she begged writers to kill her off, citing long hours and a tremendous workload. Sasha played a key role in the first few seasons of NCIS, but she didn't stick around for very long before a new female star took her place. Fortunately, Mark Harmon wasn't at fault this time. If you know, you know. Anyway, this time it was simply a scheduling issue because the actress was unable to handle the demanding filming schedule. As you know, she only made an appearance for 2 seasons before quitting, and we saw that a terrorist killed her character in the line of duty. Tragic for her character's fans, but hey, the show must go on. And the actress has no regrets. In an interview, she admitted that people thought she was crazy to be doing that. But what they didn't realize was that shooting for 10 to 11 months, 17 hours a day? It's hardcore to say the least. Oh, and here's a little fun fact. This role almost went to Jennifer Aniston, but she was too busy playing Rachel on Friends wrapping up the last season. They couldn't wait to be done, and so Sasha took over. Anyway, now Sasha's glad she cut herself loose from that routine, and credits where she is in life today to that decision. She went on to get married, had kids, and enjoys her days at her own place. Guess she won, huh? Speaking of winning, you gotta give it to the showrunners for their attention to detail. Even though the majority of the characters on NCIS are actors, the show often features actual agents. For instance, in Season 3 of the series, Special Agent David Brandt can be seen talking to Mark Harmon's character. Thomas Betro, an ex-director, also shows up in 2 episodes. All of this contributes to the showrunner's goal of being as faithful to reality as they can. That's not all, though. In order to make the events on television feel as authentic as possible, real-life criminals are highlighted on the most wanted wall, and the program also uses real old news videos. Of course, it isn't flawless. It's only a show after all. But they leave no stone unturned in making it look as realistic as possible. Well, that's all for the strict rules the cast have to follow on NCIS.